When you don't care about a group of people, when you have nothing but utter contempt for a group of folks, you really can be tone deaf to the experience they may be going through. Now, unfortunately, this video comes to you from a sad event. 2 Israeli embassy staff members were killed in Washington, D.C. within the last few hours. And apparently this was an individual about to get married or something like that. So it was making the rounds. It happened in D.C. near a Jewish museum. And the individual that did it is yelling "Free Palestine." And it has all the trimmings of a hate crime. I don't think it's even disputable based on what happened right after the guy took their lives and the stuff he yelled, that it is indeed a bona fide hate crime. But I'm going to talk about it from a standpoint of being tone deaf of what folks are going through when you just simply do not like a group of people. Now, Fox News covered this story all day today, but I want to give you a clip of something that was said on their network, on their air a couple hours ago, that literally reeks of being tone deaf, reeks of insensitivity, or anything to do with the experiences that folks are going through in that region.
It's hard to watch that video knowing he allegedly just gunned down a couple that was about to be engaged in a hateful act, and then walks inside and starts chanting that after he had just taken 2 lives, allegedly.
We're going to be learning more information about this attack, who he was connected with, what chatter was online, what was his digital footprint.
How he became radicalized.
Did he make any foreign trips? But there's something that I think is pretty much the elephant in the room is, because I've been on these college campuses, they've been chanting "Free Palestine," taking over campuses for a while, Brian. And what I'm afraid is that Free Palestine is becoming the new Allah Akbar. These kids don't understand what they've been chanting. They've been having these keffiyehs on, but there are certain members, it appears, that are becoming radical. What do our intelligence agents know about that? And what are we going to do to crack down on that? Should be the objective of the administration this morning, Brian.
So you hear him ask, what are we going to do to crack down on all of these radicalized folks on college campuses, and in this case, a clear-cut case of a hitman? What are we going to do to crack down on this? I'm going to give you my humble opinion on that, because I think there's one thing we absolutely need to do to quote-unquote crack down on this. But I take odds, and many of you folks might also, if you really look into it, at the notion that folks yelling "Free Palestine" are radicalized. Radicalized how? The idea that you're yelling "Free Palestine" makes you a radical is the new replacement for the word Allah Akbar, as he says, as if they have no legitimate reason to be yelling "Free Palestine," as if nothing is happening. The Palestinians were doing just fine, and out of nowhere, they decided to just start yelling "Free Palestine" and going on a tirade, taking folks' lives, getting involved in protests, and doing all sorts of awful shit all over the world. Nothing was happening. They just decided on their own to start yelling "Free Palestine." Now, I'm going to tell you, as I say, what can we do to crack down on it? But I want to give you my humble opinion, as I said. The best way to crack down on this is to stop saying shit like this.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job. Do something different.
That might have a lot to do with why you have folks in America saying "Free Palestine." Not only are the Israelis using virtually nothing but U.S. ordnance, almost everything that's being used to kill the Palestinians has "Made in the USA" written on the side of it, but now you got the president of the United States talking about they're going to own Gaza. Look, if Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, was saying this, I wouldn't be fond of that either, but America has no damn reason whatsoever to be talking about owning Gaza. Yeah, there were a few Americans that lost their lives on October 7th. I believe they took a few Americans hostage, but nowhere near the atrocities that would lead you to suggest you're going to take over and own someone's country. America has no place in this. No place at all to be talking and saying shit like that. Even when bin Laden struck, we didn't talk about owning countries. And bin Laden took out way more than anything that happened on October 7th. So the fact is, Trump is out of pocket completely. And if you support that, and you don't understand why these folks are yelling free Palestine when you got an American president talking about taking their country away and owning it, then you are missing the problem here. Why would we be talking about owning their country? Now, Trump continues on by making it sound like it's going to be some posh location. Here goes.
On what you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision the world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. But
now, if you have any spin in you at all in favor of Trump, you will point out that he did say in Palestinians too. But keep in mind, he's talking about making this into the Riviera of the Middle East. It'll be folks from all different internationalities living there. So this will not be their homeland anymore. It'll be owned by America. Clearly, listening to Trump talk, America's going to decide who lives there. And it sounds exceptionally luxurious. So the idea that the average everyday Palestinian that were already living in poverty is going to be allowed to live there, that's insane. That's insane. If America rebuilds Gaza and spends all of our tax money to do that, you're not going to have impoverished Palestinians living there. You're talking about Trump, who is a successful real estate developer. If you ask him, you think he's going to let people live there for free? If he redevelops this place, as he's suggesting, it's going to be, the land is going to cost a premium. So the Palestinians are gone. We might leave a few of them there just to say, well, we didn't take it away from everybody. But fact is, they're about to lose their homeland. So when they're talking about free Palestine, it's this kind of shit. And keep in mind, the Israelis are constantly encroaching on their land as well, establishing settlements in the West Bank and in Gaza in kind. Now, look, you may not care about any of this shit. I get it. But I just want to point out, this guy on Fox tone deaf to suggest that yelling free Palestine is some kind of radicalized chant when they are losing their freedom. There's no denying that these people are losing their freedoms if they haven't lost it already. So no, they're not radicalized. They're literally telling you what's happening. Palestine is not free. But let me know in the comments, what do you think? You think that what Trump is talking about is in the best intentions for the Palestinian people? Do you think he has the best intentions at heart for them? Because keep in mind, he's already made it clear he expects other neighboring nations to take in the displaced Palestinians, and he wants them to fund it. So the only place in this for America is we're going to take over their country, we're going to make it into the Riviera of the Middle East, and we're not going to do anything for the folks that we kicked out. We expect other nations to look out after them or look out for them. It's essentially a complete takeover of a country. But let me know what you think in the comments. You think it's a good idea? Do you believe folks yelling free Palestine are radicalized? Or do you see it the way I do, that they have a legitimate reason, considering what's happening, to do this stuff? And also, I want to point out, because I know October 7th is going to come up for legitimate reasons, but this shit was going on before October 7th. They didn't just go into Israel on October 7th for no reason at all. They were yelling free Palestine and things like that before October 7th. So I think some folks need to realize October 7th is not the day this stuff began. This goes way back, way back. I can play you clips of Obama complaining that Israel was encroaching in Gaza. So this goes way back. October 7th is a response to another gripe that they had long before this. But let me know in the comments what you think. As always, feel free to smash that like button. Subscribe to the damn channel. See you in the next video.